We've put the M back in, so we invite you on a mystery tour to discover the hidden treasures within Qualys VMDR with our lead security solutions architect, Kevin O'Keefe.
Thank you. Yes, I am back. And I did manage to do the stairs without falling this time, which is great. So I want to kind of build upon the last demo that I just did and just go over some of the things that we have in VMDR, but not many customers actually utilize, or may utilize, but not completely. So this is going to be interactive. Luckily, it's quite bright out there, so I can see you all. So I am going to be, if you were in my training session with Joe Ash yesterday, has to put hands up. This is going to be similar to that as well. So the first one, what do you use to prioritize? And I hope you appreciate that I use the Z rather than an S in prioritize, or a Z as you apparently call it, for your risk remediation program. If it's CVSS, put up your left hand. If it's Qualys Severity, put up your right hand. And if it's QDS, put up both your hands like if you're on a roller coaster. So go on, let's see. Who uses what around here? A lot of roller coaster riding, that's what I like. A lot of hands are down, so does that mean you don't do vulnerability management? Custom, oh, okay, fair enough, okay. So why I think Qualys Detection Score is actually really good. So you've probably seen this slide quite a few times, or seen an interpretation of it from Samed, from Shailesh, from the previous presenters, but 52% of CVSSs are classified as critical or high. You can't expect your remediation teams to go out and fix 52% of your vulnerabilities, or not in a quick and automated way. But only 5% of your vulnerabilities actually cause over 80% of your risk. And a great way to show this, and this is what I want to show up in for this point, is actually in the platform, you can build widgets that do this. So being able to see exactly what your overlap is and what is your bit that you're potentially missing. So I'm going to go to this customer. So this is actually a real customer in the UK. And they have 2.1 million CVSS critical or high. And believe me, that number never seems to go down, no matter how much they patch. But if they were to patch based on Qualys Detection Score, there would be 744,000 vulnerabilities. We've already reduced the amount that they need to go after, the amount that they've prioritized, by 2/3. That's 2/3 of their team's time they've just got back. But what is more interesting is this yellow sliver here. This yellow sliver is the things that haven't been prioritized as critical or high by CVSS, but either have a CIS known exploit, or have a weaponized exploit, are being used by threat actors. So these are the things that actually you should be prioritizing, but you may not have because of your prioritization based on CVSS. So next question, and again, left, right, both hands. How often do you rotate your certificates? Yearly. I got one person, 2, 3, 4, a few, mainly yearly. And that's what I expected. Many people rotate their certificates yearly because that's how often certificate authorities say that you should, they mandate that you rotate. But the problem is most people use this thing, and hopefully everybody know what logo that is, to manage their certificates. Everybody's got that list with every single certificate that they think they have, with the expiry date that they think it is, but you still somehow get that P1 all the time because of certificate expiry. But did you know, in Qualys Patch Management, you've got certificate management? No, not in Qualys Patch Management. In Qualys VMDR, you've got certificate management. So your agents and your scanners are constantly picking up the information, constantly picking up certificates and their expiry date, how they're configured, and then you can search it, you can dashboard on it, create reports on it, so you can stop that potential P1 because of an expired cert. And Google is actually pushing to have certs expire every 90 days. So if you already can't keep up with 1 year validity, once we start pushing 90 days and potentially even 30 days, then that's even going to be harder and harder to maintain in a spreadsheet. And by the way, if there's anybody from our engineering team, FYI, our certificates are expiring soon as well. So, does anybody use cloud, container, or both? Quite a few hands up, that's what I like, no surprise there. So again, With Qualys VMDR, we have the ability to do total cloud connectors. So included for free in your subscription is the ability to connect into AWS, GCP, OCI, Azure, and pull down the different instances you have running, pull down the different resources in your clouds, and be able to see the metadata, so we can then start to report on the different teams based on the labels or the tags in your cloud environment, or even more importantly, be able to see that it's been terminated and then remove it from Qualys. Why keep a terminated or deleted asset in your subscription if it's no longer there in the cloud as well? Again, sorry sales team, but you could also save some costs if you're the customer. And the same thing happens for container inventory. We have sensors that we can deploy onto container engines, whether it's Docker, whether it's Kubernetes and others supported, to be able to show you exactly what containers, what images are running in your environment. And again, this is included in your VMDR subscription. You can get the metadata around that container and the image. You can get the associations between them. So all of this can be done today with the subscriptions you already have. And then this is the final three answered question. So which policy guidelines do you use? And I could have potentially chosen many, many different policies. So left CIS, right NIST, or if you don't do any hardening, just put both hands up and we can all have a little laugh. The problem is everybody's putting one hand up, but I can't figure out left or right here. So I think I saw some NIST and some CIS. I didn't see anybody put both hands up, which is good. But included with VMDR, again, and your agents are probably collecting this already if you've got agents deployed, is over 701 CIS benchmarks included in the platform. All you need to do is import them, and your agent is probably already collecting the data. We just need to marry it up. Obviously, if you're using scanners, we need to be able to then scan for it, and this is why I would always recommend using the agents anyway. Once you have that, you were able to quickly see the amount of passing and failing controls. We actually tell you what you need to do to fix those controls, and then it's not just one control for, or one policy for one asset. You can have a policy for the operating system, you can have a policy for the Docker engine, for the applications installed, for the middleware, the database, all to one asset. So you can have as many policies being applied to one particular asset as required. So lastly, and in my opinion, the most important one, subscription health dashboard. This one's quite close to my heart because I spent quite a lot of time with the SSAs and the SME team building this. So how many people use it? Yes or no? Oh, that's disappointing, isn't it? Nobody uses it, really? If you're not using it already, if you don't already have it imported in your subscription, you can go into the dashboard templates under VMDR and get it imported. Search for subscription, you'll see it here, subscription health dashboard. Highly recommend, if you haven't got this already, do so. It's going to give you the information in terms of stale assets, so things that you can go in and remove because it's not been seen for 30 days, for 6 months, for 90 days. You can tweak it if you need to. It's going to tell you about those AWS, Azure, GCP terminated and deleted assets. Obviously, that does require the cloud connectors. And for every single one of them, if you hover over the title, like you can see for the GCP terminated, we'll give you some hints and tips on how to fix the issues yourself. We also tell you about some agentless tracking or unauthenticated scan merge. So if you have merging issues, and I don't think anybody here would be able to say they don't have merging issues because I haven't met a customer yet that doesn't. This will help you identify where you have those and how to fix them as well. So with that, I've got one final request for everybody. So this is a QR code that takes you to the link listed below. So if you don't want to scan the QR code, because we are at a security conference, there is a link below. But this is 17 questions that would help you identify how well you're using VMDR, how much you're using it, and also it helps us because then we can identify what customers are using and not using within VMDR. It then gets sent out to your TAM, so your TAM then has this information, so they can then start to work with you to hopefully get the most value out of the things you've already purchased from Qualys. So we're going to leave this up here. We do have a break, but we're going to leave this up here. Hopefully spend 5-10 minutes of your time just going through and filling that, because that massively helps us and hopefully helps you identify exactly how and where you can improve your VMDR deployment. And with that, thank you very much.